This movie is inspired by a true story. It begins by stating that Germany occupied France in June 1940. We then see the main character, Iwan Rion, driving a car. He encounters troops with a machine gun who question him but let him go when they see he's just a watch retailer. Taking the car, he drives to an airfield filled with airplanes and enters a building. Inside, an officer tells him that the war is practically over, adding, being in France is preferable to dying in England. The officer then walks away. Nearby, German pilots discuss their plan, boasting that they're prepared to destroy the Royal Air Force, RAF, first. Without hesitation, Ewan hops into a nearby aircraft and takes off, escaping as the German flyers attempt to stop him. In the next scene, we see a group of RAF officers under intense air attack. These are the Squadron 303 Polish pilots who have joined the RAF to fight for the skies above foreign lands. When Iwan arrives, his fellow pilots welcome him back, saying they continued the battle while he was away. Smiling, Ewan responds confidently, "You can't beat them without my help." In the following scene, a Polish pilot officer informs Chief Marshal, "We are not bombers, we are fighter pilots. We've taken down many German planes over Poland, and we bring that experience to your Royal Air Force." Chief Marshal nods in approval, and the officer replies with a firm, "Yes, sir," before departing. Next, we see an RAF pilot sitting in his aircraft, looking at a photo of a lady before preparing for takeoff. He maintains radio contact with his fellow pilots, providing strategic instructions as they engage in intense aerial combat. Amidst the continuous fire, he bravely downs an enemy aircraft. The scene shifts to an office where two officers, including one named Milo, are seated. Stepping outside, they notice Iwan arriving with his RAF team. Shortly after, a trainer addresses them with a spirited welcome, saying, "Attention, brave Polish pilots. Welcome to the RAF. It is now my duty to train you." The Polish pilots begin their training, facing some language barriers that are addressed with language lessons. They undergo various checks, including an eye examination. Eventually, they are taken to the aircraft, where Ewan instructs them on critical procedures, such as lowering the landing gear before touching down. With confidence, Ewan quips, "One thing we know well is how to fly." Commander Milo keeps talking with the Polish pilots, encouraging and motivating them. During one conversation, one of the Polish flyers voices his frustration, saying, "The Germans are targeting our men and we're doing nothing." Another flyer, visibly emotional, shouts, "My wife and little girl." This outburst angers Milo. He responds firmly, "Yes, you may all be skilled pilots, but there's more to this than flying. Qualities like unity and discipline matter, and only through these attributes can we achieve victory." After saying this, Milo heads back to his office and speaks to his superior about the challenges he's facing with the Polish pilots, mentioning issues like arrogance, irresponsibility, and a lack of discipline. His superior, however, places full confidence in him. "You're the commander, you have the authority. I'm giving you complete responsibility over the operation and am counting on you to lead them." Outside, Milo approaches Iwan and asks, "Are there any issues?" Iwan responds, "Yes, same as before, challenges with reverse and speed." Just then, they witness a pilot struggling with a rough landing, the aircraft skidding into the mud. As they rush over to assist, the pilot steps out, explaining, "It's the wheels, they caused this." This scene reveals that the team is still preparing and training for an upcoming war against the Germans, realizing the crucial role they must play. Meanwhile, we see German pilot officers discussing the state of the Royal Air Force, RAF, noting that the RAF has been weakening over the past 2 weeks. One of them remarks, "The Royal Air Force is losing power, and we're reaching the point where we're dropping bombs on them, yet they still call themselves victors." As they watch British aircraft pass by, they grow more confident in their mission. On the British side, Milo is shown tirelessly training his Polish pilots, while female pilots help monitor locations. Suddenly, an intense aerial battle with German forces erupts. In the heat of combat, Milo quickly commands, "Back home," an urgent order for the Polish pilots to retreat. They manage to bring down several German planes before heading back to base. Once on the ground, the Polish pilots see firsthand the toll of the battle, with many German pilots lying dead. Ewan, visibly affected, quietly covers the bodies of the fallen Germans with a cloth, saying, "We could have been in their place." One of his fellow pilots questions his actions, saying, "Would they have done the same for you?" Another pilot adds, "You're half Swiss, Ewan. Do you sympathize with them?" But Ewan replies, "We're here to end this war, not to pray for them." With that, he walks away. Milo then gathers the squadron for a serious meeting. He reminds them of their mission. We are here to stop the enemy. Every order must be followed to the letter. Soon the officers bring the squadron an important message saying, "Congratulations, 303 Squadron. Tomorrow's operation will demand all your courage and focus. Be ready for it." Iwan announces, "Tomorrow we're on a mission." His fellow pilots, filled with excitement and anticipation, embrace him, feeling the rush of camaraderie and purpose. They all head to their training, proudly donning their uniforms and preparing for the challenges ahead. The following day, the operation kicks off, with lady pilots monitoring locations and coordinating their team. As the fighter pilots take off, enemy aircraft begin a heavy bombardment. Despite this, the RAF pilots stand their ground, engaging in intense aerial combat. Each member of the team maintains constant contact, coordinating maneuvers and providing cover. In the midst of the chaos, an RAF pilot successfully shoots down a German plane, demonstrating their skill and resilience. During a brief moment, Iwan, full of confidence, tells Milo, "You know I'm the best." Just then, Iwan's friend arrives with a familiar RAF team, and with joy, they all warmly greet him. Stepping outside, Iwan is briefed by a technician on the latest aircraft modifications. Gun cameras have been installed, an idea that originated from Iwan himself. The technician explains, the guns are now harmonized to 150 yards, about 137 meters, but you'll need to get close for precision hits, almost like using a machine gun. This upgrade, as the British engineers had suggested, would bring a new level of accuracy to their missions. The next morning, the team assembles for a group photo, capturing a moment of pride and unity. Suddenly, a loud buzzer echoes, signaling that it's time for action. The announcer calls the team to their aircraft, marking the start of a pivotal operation. With nerves of steel, they prepare to soar once again, ready to face whatever the skies hold for them. The team takes off, and soon the sky erupts in a fierce exchange of gunfire. Lady pilots remain vigilant, tracking their positions and coordinating the movements of the fighter pilots. During the battle, several aircraft are destroyed, and eventually a signal flashes, reading, "Refueling," and landed. They manage to touch down briefly to refuel and are soon airborne once more. In the midst of the chaos, one RAF pilot comes under heavy fire. The German opposition hits him, and he starts bleeding as his aircraft takes a nosedive into the sea. As he crashes, he sees a vision of a little girl smiling, which is his final moment of solace before he drowns in the cold waters. The entire RAF team is devastated by the loss, silently grieving their fallen comrade. One of the officers, in a somber moment, reads from a book titled Rudimentary Polish, a quiet tribute to his late friend. Later, during a brief period of calm, the team resumes flight, unaware that they're about to be ambushed. Suddenly, German fighters launch a surprise attack, catching everyone off guard. Iwan's aircraft is engulfed in flames, but he manages to escape by deploying an air balloon. Meanwhile, another team member is critically injured as fire surrounds him. In the next scene, a gathering for the Polish fighter pilots takes place. Chief Marshal stands to address the crowd, signaling for everyone's attention. With a warm gesture, he introduces the evening's hostess, a gracious woman who steps forward to welcome the brave pilots and honor their sacrifices in the ongoing battle. The hostess at the evening party raises a toast, honoring the brave Polish pilots who defended England in intense aerial battles. Her words celebrate their courage and sacrifice. However, Iwan, feeling a surge of anger, interrupts, expressing the deep frustrations of war. "We're out here sipping champagne," he says bitterly, "while bombs are falling on our cities. They're killing us. We're being shot, hanged, and butchered." His words reveal the dark toll the war has taken on him and his comrades. Milo steps in quickly, calming Iwan and urging him to stay composed in front of the others. Later, Milo visits a room where the injured pilots rest. One pilot's face bears severe burns, a constant reminder of the brutal aerial warfare. Milo gently tells him, "A remarkable man always grows stronger from pain. You should be proud of what you've endured." His words are meant to instill a sense of dignity in their survival. Meanwhile, another Polish pilot, lost in thought, sits quietly lighting candles. His eyes reflect sorrow, the memories of loved ones lost in the chaos of war. Iwan joins him, asking softly, "What are you doing here?" The pilot replies, "I started seeing those who were like us, who were up there in the sky." Iwan, with steady resolve, responds, "Those weren't people like us. They were Germans who've wronged us. But listen to me, you're still alive. And as long as you're breathing, that's what matters in this war." His words are encouraging, emphasizing that their fight, their survival, has meaning even in the face of loss and despair. Milo gathers the pilots, briefing them for their next critical flight operation. As the mission unfolds, another intense aerial battle with the Germans begins, resulting in many aircraft being destroyed. During the chaos, a Royal Air Force pilot recalls an older comrade who was shot down, haunted by memories of past battles. Iwan witnesses this, and fueled by anger and worry, strikes down an opponent's aircraft. The fight rages on, but soon only 2 Polish aircraft remain in the air. One is forced to crash due to engine failure, leaving Iwan as the last survivor, facing a storm of enemy fire. Observing this from afar, the lady pilots are moved to tears, fearing the worst. Despite the odds, Iwan manages to escape his fallen aircraft, emerging injured but alive. He reaches another plane and discovers the heartbreaking loss of his comrade. The grief and frustration are evident as he processes the sacrifices made. Later, the squadron leader addresses the remaining pilots, acknowledging the extraordinary efforts displayed. "It was exceptional work," he says. "We are immensely proud of you for what you did and continue to do. You deserve our deepest gratitude." The officers depart, leaving the pilots with a renewed sense of honor and loss. The final scene shifts to London in 1946. Iwan, looking out at the sky, watches the planes fly overhead, contemplating his future. It is hinted that he plans to leave for America in 3 days. The film concludes with a tribute to Squadron 303, the Polish pilots who achieved the highest scores among British forces. Together, 145 Polish pilots helped bring down 203 enemy aircraft, cementing their invaluable role in strengthening the Royal Air Force during the war. Let me know your thoughts on the movie in the comments below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.